Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. This will be a benchmark tips and tricks for progressing through the game at various difficulties, wherever you're at. It doesn't matter. New, old, this is going to cover pretty much the majority of it. As we all know, in this game in particular, combat rating is king. Combat rating means everything for all forms of content. Mostly PvE. It does have, as you see this one line right here, it does apply to PvP to a slight degree, as long as you hit that percentage mark. Right, this last line, against players you cannot gain more than 10% damage increase or damage reduction for your combat rating. Alright, that's the only thing that applies to PvP. Everything else, these modifiers are mostly important for PvE content. Okay? Let me start again, first and foremost, saying that I am also a complete 100% free to play. It can be done. It can be done. And also, another key point here is have fun playing the game. Okay? Enjoy yourself. It's a game. That's the whole point of games, is they're supposed to be fun. Do not concern yourself with the pay-to-win aspects. Do not let it get you down. This can be played completely void of all of that nonsense if you just, give it a go. All right? So don't be discouraged by it. It can be done. All right. Now, back to the point here. Moving on into how to benchmark your progress. All right? So, the most important thing is going to be you open up the map. Let's say you are going from your level 1, you're about to be level 100. Okay? So, you are currently in this difficulty. You should be anyway. Or you might even be in the next difficulty up, and you're farming early. But either way, this is a way to track your progress on whatever difficulty you're on. This will tell you the open world farm combat rating required of that difficulty of each one. That's the open world farm. That's hidden layers, open world. I think terror rifts even too. Now, dungeons, on the other hand, will always be at... Well, this one's a little funky because it comprises all the difficulties into one. So 1, 2, and 3 here will be comprised together, and they will scale. So we're going to look... I have to go to the Inferno difficulties because this is the easiest way to describe once you reach this point, because you're going to be leveling extremely fast in these difficulties here. You're going to be swapping out gear as fast as possible. You're going to be looking for the highest combat rating on all the gear as you go along, so you're not going to be holding on to any gear for any real length of time. That's just how it goes in the early on. Once you get to the Inferno levels, it starts to taper off, and then you can start min-maxing. Alright, so let's go from Inferno 1 here. Combat rating required is this right here. The dungeon combat rating will be the last boss of the raids that you need to complete to unlock the next difficulty up. Well, actually no, this will be what you need to unlock the combat rating to farm the next difficulty, Inferno 2 per se. Okay, see, there it is. 37,320, 37,320. Now, if you want to see what you need to farm dungeons early, and why would you want to farm dungeons early? Because you want to get the set pieces locked in early. And again, this is once you get to the Infernos, honestly. The ones before this, you're going to be burning through them so fast it's not even going to matter so much. You just want to keep getting your combat rating any way you can get it, and push. Now, in order to track once you get to the Infernos, you go to Party Finder, you go to Quick Matching. I have it currently set to Inferno 3, which is above my current Paragon level of being able to wear the gear. But I do have the combat rating, and I have been farming here early on for quite some time to get the set pieces early on for the next difficulty. I can't wear them yet, but I can at least farm them up early. And that's what you want to do. This will tell you, though, however, again, what combat rating is required for whatever difficulty of dungeon you want to be farming in. And if you want to go early, make sure you're, at least meeting that. That's a benchmark there for that. Now, I have farmed early on a lot of these. As you can see, Paragon requirement 500. I can't wear them. I sent them to my mailbox because it's way easier than taking up bag space. Your precious bag space, which you need. These do not have expiration dates on the mail in-game, so you can hold on to them for as long as you can until you need them, and as long as you got space in your mailbox. Okay? So, that is why. And why would you want to farm set pieces up early? Well, most of us OGs know this already, but I'm reiterating the point for everybody that doesn't, of course, and newer players alike. This is covering all bases here. The set pieces are tied to whatever difficulty you acquired them in. Whatever difficulty you get these set pieces in is you will get the most bang for your buck for the combat rating. Now this in particular, this is Inferno 2, this combat rating here. This is the maximum combat rating for a 2-stat piece. Okay? This is tied again to the difficulty of Inferno 2. Once you get those early on, you won't have to worry about them until, you know, you're completely content with your set pieces early. It helps a lot because then you won't have to worry about farming them up anymore, and you can break them down into wisps that you need for crafting set pieces that you would like. This makes it way easier. Much easier if you do it ahead of time. Legendary pieces, on the other hand, that's a whole nother ball game. Legendary pieces, the combat rating and the attributes, they are tied to your Paragon levels. So in order to swap these out along the way, you will notice once you get to things start to taper off, and then the Inferno difficulties, like I said one more time, you won't be swapping these out until like every 30 plus Paragon levels before you actually find better pieces, especially if you have triple rolls. These are very, 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 very hard to get rid of, very, very hard to replace. So this is why I am staying in my current difficulty for getting legendary gear still until probably about, personally, 480, 485. Then I'll go everything Inferno 3, open world farm, dungeons, the lot. But for right now, I'm still only doing dungeons in Inferno 3 for the early farm of the set pieces. So that's the breaking it down as best I can here for all difficulties. Again, your benchmarks to look for is it's all combat rating. Look at the map, check here, look at the baseline, whatever difficulty you were getting close to as far as wherever your levels may be approaching. You look for the open world farm levels of each of these difficulties and be like, okay, I need this much combat rating to run around in this world, and this, etc. And then if you need to see how much combat rating you need for dungeons, you go to Party Finder, quick matching, set it to whatever difficulty you're curious about, and it will list it here. And that's where you need to be. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that gives you some ideas of, if they haven't already. If you already know what to do, obviously, oh geez, we all know it. This has been rehashed so many times over. But anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world, and far as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. That's all we can do. Until next time, see ya.